Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back and I'm going to be doing a commentary on some of the Xelor Kolo. So with my on some of the Kolo matches that I recorded with my Xelor. I'll be basically explaining why I do the things I do, explaining some of the mechanics of the Xelor. Hopefully this is helpful to either new Xelors or just people who want to understand the class in general. And hopefully the matches are pretty interesting. If you do like the video, just feel free to drop a like, and if you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you. Alright, let's get started. So this first fight, I'm facing against a Sram, and right here, so what you want to do is if you summon something at your previous location. So I was here, right, on my last step. So I go back. My last step was right there, right? So I'm going to summon the accomplice, and then I'm going to use rollback. Now what does rollback do? It moves you back to your previously known location, right? Well, if this accomplice was in that location, then we're going to switch places. The thing is, the accomplice has never been moved, so it's actually just going to stay in the same place, but the game will still register that you made a telefrag. So once you make the telefrag, the reason for doing that is if you use water clock on anything with a telefrag, it will grant you 2 AP next turn. So this is a form of boosting your AP for the next turn. In addition to that, you can also use premonition like that on top of it, and that means next turn you will switch with that thing, and that will also give you another 2 AP. Haziness should also give you another 2 AP. In addition to that, you could also use something like Cog, and that'll give you 1 AP next turn again. So there's a lot of ways to boost with the Xelor. Alright, so in general, when you're fighting a Sram or Sram, and if you see them go invisible, best thing to do is just try to keep a track of where they are in general, where you think they are. You can kind of hover over their character and just keep checking their MP again and again. You can also see when they use MP, and just keep a track of where they last cast a spell. You know, that's why it's trying to show you that. But in general, I just try to get further away. The thing is, so they know your exact location, right? So they're going to try, most of them are going to try to put traps right around where you are. The way to get around this as a Xelor is you can summon an accomplice kind of far away enough that there's probably not a trap there, and then you can use Time Rift to teleport over there. Now make sure to not end your turn there, because the accomplice will go back to where it was at the end of the turn. So you want to use the accomplice, you want to use Time Rift, and then you want to move away. And then you can just reset, you know, try to boost again, try to just, you know, prep, basically prep, because the chances of you actually finding them and hitting them is really low. You can try, but it's probably just going to backfire on you. And in general, I just try to provide line of sight, like protect your line of sight. So I'm already protected by line of sight here. I'm somewhat protected over here. So try to summon things that will prevent them from hitting you, essentially. So yeah, so he's over here, but he also has some MP. So, you know, at this point, I'm just thinking in general, he's somewhere over here. So he's going for the synchro. Nice thing is, you see that? That actually healed the synchro. It's right here, plus 500. Every time you make a telefrag, it'll heal a synchro. So I do the same thing, just kind of boosting, waiting for my turn, trying to create some line of sight so that it doesn't So it's just harder for him to get to, or hit my accomplice, because if he hits the accomplice, then I won't get the 2 AP when I switch with it. So I'm just trying to make it a little bit harder for him to get to me, because the way premonition works is you switch. Next turn you go to that thing, wherever you place it. So he's kind of boosting in his own way with the 100 strength, 200 strength there, and just killing my synchro. So at this point I think I'm just gonna go in. It's an even turn, which is not great because I'm using the cloudy Dofus, which on odd turns increases your damage by 20%, on even turns decreases it by 10%. So there, what am I doing there? Let me just show you. So I teleport to the other side, right? So I can get closer. I do rewind. What will rewind do? It'll bring me back to where I was in the beginning of the turn. So I'll go all the way back over here. So it's really good for just kind of going in, and then going back to where you were. It's a very safe way to play. Very safe and smart way to play, to be honest. So I do Mummy so I can get an easy telefrag because I can't really reach him. And I just hit him with Dark Ray. Try to end my turn as close as I possibly can, or as far as possible away from where I started. Also, another smart thing would have been to put a premonition over here so that next turn I start over there. But when you're fighting a Sram, they can kind of use that to their advantage if they know how Xelor works, because they know you're going to go to that turn. They know you're going to teleport over there, so they're going to put a trap there. So yeah, then I go back. Now it's very difficult for him to actually do anything to me. Besides maybe bring his double near me or something. Okay. I guess he's doing a thonk. Okay. Tricky trap, repelling trap. So he's also trying to do like a line of sight thing. I'm just going to go back to where I was, you know, pretty easily with rollback. So you can either use spontaneous return to go back to where you were after at the end of a rewind turn, or you can use rollback, which is really nice. Unless someone moves you, then you're kind of fucked. But damn, it's a lot of damage. So yeah, basically just roll back to where I was. Now, you know, with 9 AP on an odd turn, I feel pretty confident about attacking him. Thing is, my build is built for creating diagonal attacks because I have the axe, and temporal distortion over here works in a square around you. So it's kind of, I basically had to use this. Well, I didn't have to, but I just thought it would be best to use a 2 AP here to move him, even if you don't create a telefrag. So summon this, Xelor's Punch, costs 3 AP, but you generate 2 AP, so you have 4 AP. Frostbite, when you generate a telefrag, costs 2 AP, gives you back 2 AP, so it didn't cost anything. And then I just used the axe because it's the highest hitting thing for 4 AP. And then I end my turn next to him because I'm agility and I basically lock him. You know, granted, you know, Srams can easily get out of things, but also, oh yeah, that's basically it. Shakedown. Perfidy, which is a crap ton of damage. Still strong, as always. And Hammer Tor. Funny enough, I used to use Hammer Tor before they nerfed it. So he almost gets me, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, managed to win this one. All right, next fight. So fighting this Kra. Kras in general, you want to play with teleportation to be able to get to them quickly, but I may have just forgotten and chosen a spontaneous return. You can still win with spontaneous return. It's just, it's easier with teleportation. So here, probably not the best move in the world because it's not really protected, right? He can easily just walk over here or just move one step and kind of hit this. So maybe if I moved over here and put the accomplice over here, it would have been better. But that's just a little thing. You always want to try to protect it because people know about this. This is a very common thing that Xelors do. Okay, so he destroyed it, so I don't have as much AP as before, but I'm still gonna go in, and we'll see. Oh, I remember this. Oh, this was so bad. I'm not even sure what I was thinking here. Yeah, so I thought I could use Pendulum to basically teleport over here. Like you use it over here, then you use Spontaneous Return to bring yourself back over there, but I don't think it works that way anymore. So at least I did the premonition. So I went in, I did a premonition, that means I'm going to be here next turn, and I'm still kind of safe over here. So this is what people will do sometimes. They'll step in where your premonition is so that you switch with them, so that they end up over here and you're over here. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, how do I get to him then, right? Because he just, it feels like they outsmarted you, but this is how you counter that. Essentially, let them switch, right? It's going to happen anyways. Place the accomplice here, like somewhere around here, right? Switch back with them so that they end up over here, then use Time Rift, and now you have them where you want them, and they're in telefrag state, which is awesome. And the best part, you'll switch back with the accomplice at the end of the turn as long as you don't move. Excuse me. So pretty decent damage there. So at this point he can reach me. Minus 3 AP. Nice part is, when you play Spontaneous Return, you can just go back to where you were. You can always use that. Actually, it'll grant you an AP because it only costs 1 AP and you get 2 AP back. So again, I'm trying to play that that diagonal game. So Xelor's Punch. Can't reach him with Frostbite because he reduced my range. So I'm just going to do Temporal Distortion. And then with 4 AP left, he may have had, I didn't even know he had Ivory. So yeah, his Ivory, man, if he didn't have that Ivory, holy shit. Like this is, I would have done 1,000 more damage. So, but it is what it is. To some extent that's my fault, but hey. Like you can time it, like so Ivory works every 5 attacks, you reduce 50% of the damage, so you'll know when it's up, you know, so at that point you can just do like Leak Pie or something that's very low AP, just to like get rid of it and then you can attack. I reduced my AP to pretty low here, 5 AP, so I can't really do too much with that, and I don't feel like playing that game, if you know what I mean. If I keep playing that game, I might lose, so I'm just going to play it safe. Basically, just literally boost for the next turn, and just hide with like line of sight. Thing is with Kraz though, what you need to know is they have a spell, it'll come up here in a second, that grants them no line of sight. Yeah, there it is. It's called Absolute Acuteness. Now he doesn't require line of sight to attack me. 3 AP minus. Yeah. Thing is, even if he did that to me, once I switch with his accomplice, I get 2 AP back. So here I'm just thinking, how can I activate this synchro? Pretty easy. Just make a telefrag right here. And boom. Does a lot of damage, even if it's not fully charged. Anything crazy like that. At this point you can pretty much just kill him with anything. I mean, 4 AP, that's good enough. So, there it is. Not a bad fight, not a bad fight at all. That one was fun. So this IOP just tries to go in. As they tend to. First turn tries to just get me. No buffs, nothing, just attacks. Which I thought was pretty funny. Because, I mean, round 1 I have Cloudy, and Xelors aren't like weak by any means, so, you know, I guess you'll see. That's a really good combo. So Xelor's Punch into Frostbite, into Temporal Distortion, into Weapon Skill, into Hack Axe. Okay, so he's starting to buff. Vitality. Gives himself 1,000 vitality. Hits me for about a grand. And gives himself shield. Nice part about being agility is I can just do the exact same thing again. I'm gonna do counter just because I always like using counter against melee classes. It just makes sense, you know. So half of what they hit you for, they just hit themselves with. I can just use this again, and pretty much very similar combo to last time. It's kind of weird. So the game, I don't know why it doesn't. So I'll hit him, right? I'll do Xelor's Punch, and then you would think Frostbite, it should show Telefrag, right? Because I'm moving in his previous position. Sometimes it doesn't say Telefrag, and then it's weird because I'll do it and it'll make the Telefrag and I won't lose AP. Sometimes I'll do it and I'll just lose AP and there's no Telefrag generated, even though like theoretically there should have been. So I don't know what's going on there, if that's just a bug or what's going on. But yeah, this one said Telefrag, so just like that's the safe option. I'll just pick that. And yeah, at this point I could have done Nell here. Nell probably would have just killed him. So that's another thing. Nell is a 3 AP spell. It's right here. Basically, the more Telefrags that you generate, the more it hits. And it's very low cost AP, very high damage in general. But I mean, regardless, this is pretty much a win. But just saying, just to be more efficient. It is Precipitation, which grants him AP. He's probably gonna. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he pretty much kills himself. Because of the counter. That's why he died. Alright, so I think this is another Kra. Let's see. And this time I'm playing with Teleportation. So, very similar to last time. Accomplice, Weapon Skill, Haziness. And yeah, that's it. You don't really need to do counter against Kraz, I mean, unless you're really going in and you think you're going to be very close to them, but, you know, obviously they're a ranged class, so. So I switch with this, and I'm pretty far away from him in general, but that's the beauty of teleportation. Just sometimes you have to get the right angle. So if I tried to teleport here, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this block is taken, so I can't teleport here. So but if I move here, then it's like there's a cell available. Yeah. So here, because I already used the accomplice, I can't. I mean, yeah, I can't use it again. So I just use a synchro to try to generate a telefrag. And yeah, I do rewind just to go back to where I was before, because I feel like he'll be able to hit me less, essentially. So pretty decent combo there. And then again, I can use rollback to just go back to where I was. He's using absolute acuteness, so I can't use rollback now because he moved me, right? If I use rollback, I'll go back over here because that was my previous position. Whereas before he did that, my previous position was over here, right? You always got to keep track of these things as a Xelor. So how do I get to him? My accomplice is pretty close to him, so I'm just going to do time rift. And I'm going to use mummification to give myself a bit more MP. I didn't necessarily have to be honest. I mean, he was already in the telefrag state. He was only 1 MP away. Maybe I could have just done frostbite or something else, but screw it. So that's a big chunk of damage. So I'm just trying to move as close as I possibly can to him, because I have a feeling, yeah, that this was going to happen. At this point, they're just going to gravity state you. Man, that punitive arrow does a lot of damage. Yep. So once you're in gravity state, you can't move at all. Well, you can move, you just can't be like displaced, I guess. You can't displace yourself. You can't teleport anywhere. It's kind of the counter to Xelor play. Whenever you're in gravity state, you're somewhat fucked. But you can still move them. They can still be moved, which is good. So I could have moved here. I could frostbite him. I could try to Xelor's punch him over closer to me or something. But rollback will work as well. So there you go. And then I just pretty much finished it. Alright, next fight against an Eliotrope with a long nose, apparently. Fucking Pinocchio. So they're gonna try to boost first turn. I'm gonna try to boost first turn. And we'll see. So I'm doing everything right. Everything is fine here. I'll tell you where I think I made a mistake, but I'm not 100% sure. Going in this corner. Maybe I should have just stayed here, but we'll see. I guess his idea was to get rid of the synchro. He didn't want to let that build up, which I mean is fair because, you know, it's a very easy kill if you let it build up. So at this point I know I can get to him. This is my issue. This rewind right here, I do a rewind. So if I'm going to go in here, he already has portals set up for me next turn to attack me. I'm going to go back over here somewhere. So I'm going to go back right here actually. So if you do rewind, it's like you're setting him up for success, right? So I shouldn't have done rewind. I guess I was just so used to it that I just did it. But that's the thing that you really don't want to do against the Elios. Elios, you want to place things on top of their portals so that they can't use them properly. Like I could have just placed something here, like a Kawa, which would have been a lot smarter than what I just did. But it is what it is. That's just for people to learn. So You see what happened there? That was so strange. That was so strange. I can't even explain it. I'm trying to explain it, but I don't know how. Xelor's Punch moves him here. Frostbite moves him here. Temporal Distortion moves him here. What? Like, I thought he would move back over here, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird spell, to be honest. It may have been the fact that the Accomplice was also in Telefrag state, and just the way this was set up, for some reason it didn't go there, because it's an AoE, and it says it brings them back to their previous location, but then I don't know if he got like hit twice, if you know what I'm saying, and then he moved back to where he originally was. But that kind of ruined my turn, because the way this class plays is, or this set is, I'm ranged, so I need to be diagonal to get the most amount of damage with the axe. But it is what it is. Like, I would have hit like 1200 or something there instead of 875. So yeah, with the rewind, I basically just perfectly set him up to destroy me, which is unfortunate. Yep, Conjuration, boom, boom. So I can just switch with my Accomplice, or I can just do rollback, either one. I try to go for the very similar thing as before. This time I think it works. See, it's like I don't know if I can trust this thing anymore, so I do it. This time it works. Like, why did it work this time? It didn't work last time, right? I don't know. Maybe someone can explain it. But like I understand how the spell works, and sometimes it just does weird things. Man, that would have been nice to hit that 1600. But yeah, nice part is it also heals me with the axe for a little bit of lifesteal. So I honestly thought I was gonna win this. I kind of gave it away, but man, it all went so south. It all went so south. Oh my god, that fucking damage. Worst part is when he does that spell, it's not just that damage. Next turn, it'll hit me for another like 500 or 600. So I'm trying to think, how can I get to him? And really the only way is with teleportation. Because he's moved too much for me to try to like bring him back, essentially. So I get close to him. I have 7 AP at this point. Oh yeah, no, I remember why I lose. So I go right next to him. Look at the potential damage, right? So if I don't crit, 500 to 600. If I crit, 800 to 1000, and he only has 1100 HP. No crit. Oh my god. So that's it. That's literally why I lost. Because he has 244 HP. If I crit, yeah, I would have won. But also, it's not the point, like, just winning. It's like, how did you win? Did you win in a quality way? Did you make the right moves? Were you thinking when you played? You know, so I was definitely, I made mistakes here. Should have tried to cover his portals more. But overall, it was a good match. That's why I kept it here, just for other people to kind of learn. And for myself to learn, too. Just going over things. That's it. Alright, next one. So, this is an AP reducing Kra, which is very common in Kolo and 5v5. So, that's kind of a typical thing. They're going to try to hit you as much as they can first turn. That's why something like a Shiny Protect, which gives you shields every turn, for the first 3 turns, is very useful, as is a Ivory. So yeah, when he hits this thing, it will basically absorb whatever spell he cast and then spread it around, and that's how it hit me, even though I was behind this thing. So at this point, I'm just trying to get as close as I can to him while creating some type of line of sight. -4 AP, holy shit. And I'm in gravity state. So this guy pretty much knows what he's doing. I mean, I get pretty low HP. So he put me in gravity state, so I'm supposed to switch with this accomplice. But because gravity state doesn't allow you to do that, I don't benefit from it at all anymore. So here we go. So a good thing he's not in gravity state, or else this would have been really bad. So not bad. Oh man. Okay. So I know pretty much that I can just move him back to where he was and kind of do the same combo. There we go. And just because you use Frostbite doesn't mean you... As long as you didn't generate a telefrag with it, doesn't mean you can't use it again. And there we go. That's it. So, Enutrof. This one is pretty interesting. I always like fighting Enutrofs, very interesting class. So he just goes for like pure damage right from the get-go. So for me in general, I like to get as close as I can with Enutrofs. I feel like playing a long distance game with them, you're just gonna lose. There's no point. So what I mean by that is I'm far away now, but it's because I did the premonition. I know I'm going to be closer to him next turn. And you always want to play with line of sight, so I'm protecting myself. There's a line of sight here, line of sight here. This is all blocking his path. He can't hit me here. He'd have to go all the way around over here to try to get to me. But then he'd be very, very close to me. Only thing he can hit me with are these like low AP, like low damaging, no line of sight things, which I don't care too much about. So I have 15 AP, which is pretty solid. I'm going to do rewind as well to go back to where I was. And kind of same thing as last time. Xelor's punch, frostbite, try to kill his living bag, right? Temporal distortion. It's dead. So exact same thing happened again. So I'm thinking maybe I need to just spend some more time with the temporal distortion, see how it's working. I don't know if this is a bug or if it's just maybe I'm not understanding how it's working. But again, I'm too close to him, so I would have hit even more. I know it already looks like a lot, but I would have hit even more. Alright. So, oh, he sees the line of sight. He's like, wow, I got you right here, this diagonal. Okay, I guess he's trying to debuff me, and do a lot of damage. Okay. So I know that I can just roll back to where I was before. And yeah, trying to get the diagonal sometimes is a little awkward. So what I think about doing is essentially, I know he has a lot more HP than me. I'm like about to die. So I think about doing as much damage as I can while basically preventing him from moving. So if I didn't summon this accomplice behind me, he could have done release and just ran away. But I don't think he can now. That's the thing about Enutrofs. They don't really have many forms of escape. So, like I said in my previous video, like a long time ago, so I've been doing Xelor PvP videos for a while now, on and off, you know, I play the game on and off. And you want to try to corner Enutrops, to try to prevent them from being able to escape. Holy shit, he almost gets me. So I have one last chance. And this is what I do. Boom. Boom. This is an even turn. Oh, actually, now I think about it, this synchro. I could have just used this synchro to kill him. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Was it just sitting here the whole time? Oh no, it wasn't that big. But yeah, right here I mean, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Basically, this is how I end the turn. So I hit him, do this, Xelor's punch. I'll still have 3 AP. Then I just hit him with a shriveling. That's it. There it is. Alright boys, thanks for watching. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know if you want me to keep doing it. Overall, I'm just trying to get better, trying to improve, trying to be a better Xelor. It's a complicated class, but I've always loved it. I also changed how my character looks. I got this whole ink blot look to me, and this really cool Xelorium little owl pet. I think it looks really awesome. And yeah. You see. So I got these Dofuses: Turk, Crimson, Turquoise, Crimson, Abyssal Dofus, Cloudy, Vigor, and Stunter. Here's my gear for anybody. You can pause the video if you want. I also have I forgot if it's Dofus book or one of the other ones, but one of the websites where you can show the gear. I'll link that in the description of the video, and I'll put it as a comment. Just so other people can kind of see the gear and play around with it if you want. There's also a much cheaper version. I know like a lot of people like me, they can't really afford like all this super expensive stuff like the Abyssal and the Cloudy. There's cheaper versions of this. You don't necessarily have to play with either of these. You can use Nomad instead of the Abyssal, and for the Cloudy you can just use like whatever you want. You know, the Cloudy is just like extra damage. It's just like a play style, really. I don't even need to use Cloudy. It's just something I like to play with. You can use the Kolo, which is super cheap and it heals you every 4 turns. That's also really useful. But yeah, there's a lot of options here. And yeah, it's a pretty good set, I'm not gonna lie. There's this famous French Xelor YouTuber, I can't remember his name, Altanova or Luminova, I think. And I saw his set and I tried to make a cheaper version of it. I actually posted it on Reddit as well, just to get feedback and everything. I think I made something pretty awesome for something that's like a lot cheaper. Because you don't need Ochre Dofus, which is like 40 something mil, 50 mil. So yeah, that's it guys. Like the video if you like it, subscribe for more content, I really appreciate it. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.